We have a Patreon and it's free.
And it's free, like actually free.
Yep, completely free. We finally set up a place where you can get a peek behind the scenes, help shape the podcast, vote on stuff, and just create a community.
And you'll eventually snag some rewards that we're cooking up.
So please go follow us on Patreon at Best Year Ever Pod.
And while you're at it, follow us on all our socials.
All right, let's start the show. Welcome to Best Year Ever, a movie podcast where each week, one movie at a time, we'll attempt to answer this very important question. Was 1984 the best year ever for movies? I am your host, Jesús Gonzalez, and with me is the tenacious, somewhat inappropriate, but always well-meaning, Casey Glenn.
Hi, Jesus.
Hi, Casey. Did you like that? Did you like that?
Yeah, loved it. What can I say?
Okay, so we are gonna watch 16 Candles. And you were so excited when we got 16 Candles. You were gleaming, you were giddy. You were so happy you got another rom-com. Casey, how are you feeling right now?
I was still entertained. I was not bored, but I was shocked. Shocked. Also, I was very confused at the start of the movie, and I know we haven't gotten into it yet, but 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink often get flipped in my brain because I've never really seen 16 Candles before. I just know Molly Ringwald. That's it. And I think in Pretty in Pink, she lives on the wrong side of the tracks. And so when we start in this nice, beautiful house, I was like, where the fuck are we? What movie is this? I was convinced.
Yep.
Convinced that, she was not going to be in that scene at all.
I just read the reviews before I watched. I knew what we were getting into. I've seen this movie. I knew how problematic it was. I just didn't want to tell you anything.
Yeah,
I wanted you
fair.
to experience it. I knew it wasn't enough to make you stop and watch another movie. I was still ready for that text. One day I'm gonna get it. Probably 1984. But I read the reviews and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to see the positive side of this. This movie has been dunked to no end, understandably and correctly. And we're gonna get into the reviews, but there are positives, and I kind of understand why people love this. I don't. This is spoilers. It's not gonna be best year ever for me, but I understand why some older people like this, and I think it's the same reason why I liked Scott Pilgrim and you don't. There is enough of nostalgia bait, of music stings, of joke after joke, of references that I barely get. That is why Gen Xers, older millennials, and I am an older millennial, but I think it's more Gen Xers than older millennials like this movie. I think 10 years older than me would love this movie, and I'm gonna ask my D&D buddies who are all 10 years older than me and see what they think, and they're gonna love it. They're gonna say it's a classic.
Well, okay, if they end up being too manly and oh, it's a girly movie, you should have them ask their wives.
No, I think no. Do you know who I hang out with?
Yeah, they can still be weird about gender roles.
I think they're too much of a geek. I think they are the geek in this movie, but let's get into Letterboxd. Our very own Casey Glenn. And you gave it 3 stars. I think this is your best review so far. It's a single. Oh! Exclamation point.
I feel like I need to send you the TikTok sound that is in my head whenever I write "oh" and you just need to drop it in here. Oh.
Surprisingly, you're above average of all of the reviews that I saw. Most of these are 1 and 2 stars.
Yes. Yeah.
It's it's a lot of what is expected. Again, I do not disagree. Double negative. I agree with all of these reviews.
I agree with them too.
They're too obvious. They're too obvious.
Yeah.
I think we need to mindset to the 80s without excusing the bad things, because they are still bad. So with that in mind, I'm gonna read a couple of reviews, a couple of highlights. This one-star review, which pretty much says what a lot of these reviews say: racism, sexism, making fun of disabled kids, rape jokes, homophobic jokes. This movie got it all. Oh, the 80s. Again, not wrong.
The amount of slurs used in this movie was astronomical.
This one-star review has aged like fine milk.
Mm-hmm.
This never seen this. Half a star review. Why the fuck is this considered a classic? Again, I'll get into that. I think I know why. 3.5 review and a heart. Molly Ringwald really made the 80s her decade. 100%. This 2-star review. Honestly, I'm surprised John Hughes ever had a career after this one. I'll end on this one because it feels like a younger person wrote this one. It's a 4-star and a heart review. I enjoy this movie more than The Breakfast Club, and that's the T.
That's insane. That's
And
crazy.
because they use that's the T, I feel like that was a younger person who wrote that. But again, it's not a lot of good reviews, and the ones that are good seem like older people, except this one. So we're gonna try to look at this movie kind of like a true crime episode podcast.
I was going to say more like a time capsule. Like we're opening up a time capsule.
Yeah, we really are. And I think that's going to be the approach to a lot of 84, especially comedies in 84. But with that, let's do background. "16 Candles" with a budget of 6.5 million, box office of 23.6 million. Directed by John Hughes, edited by Edward Wishilka, starring Molly Ringwald as Samantha Sam Baker, Anthony Michael Hall as the geek. He has a name, but he's a geek. Michael Schofield as Jake Ryan. I probably said that wrong. Haviland Morris as Caroline Mulford. Gede Watanabe as... and I hate that I have to say his character name. Long Duck Dong. I'm not going to insert the gong sound effect that the movie did every time they said his name.
Actually, not surprised. That seems like something you would do.
I might. And Paul Dewey as Jim Baker. God, this is an interesting. I mean, Anthony Michael Hall and Molly Ringwald really made the movie bearable.
Who is Anthony Michael Hall again?
The geek.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw. There's one review on Letterboxd where they call the guy that plays Jake Ryan evil Jacob Elordi, and I loved that. I thought that was really good.
Yeah. Pre the creature makeup, but yeah, it's pre the creature makeup, but acting like the creature from Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, do you want to start the movie?
Let's start it. So we start off on a beautiful school morning, like any other school morning, except it's not just any other school morning. It is our main character, Samantha's birthday. However, Samantha's older sister is getting married this weekend, and her family is scrambling about. I don't know why they're stressed the day before. Or it's like 2 days before the wedding. I don't know. They're just like,
I think it's the day before. I think this all happens in a day, and then the next day is a wedding. Crazy that they have the wedding after the sister's birthday. That is mean.
Yes, especially like without talking about it, because if you had talked about it, then you would have been hyper aware that it's your sister's birthday.
Not care about Sam.
No. She is the redheaded stepchild, but she's not a stepchild. She is literally just one of the siblings. She's the second oldest.
Just redheaded.
Yeah. She is talking to her friend on the phone, and she was like, yeah, I bet my family's like jonesing to wish me happy birthday. Oof. And then everybody forgets it. That's gotta hurt.
Also, huge house.
Yes, absolutely ginormous house. Like, I was shocked. Unfortunately, though, the parents have to share a bathroom with the kids, which I don't love.
I feel like that's an 80s trope. I don't know. I always saw that in sitcoms and like this Home Alone, that type of movies.
Yeah, I don't love it.
I don't think it's realistic.
Towards the end of this like opening scene, Sam goes downstairs and her mom is like, sorry, I couldn't even pack your lunch for you today, so you're gonna have to buy it. And Sam was like, do you have nothing you want to say to me? She goes, you can have your carrots tonight. And then that's it. The fact that like that doesn't trigger anything to the mom of like, there's
Yeah,
something more going on
yeah,
there.
that's you know what the mom sister Sam relationship reminded me of a lot.
Mm.
House Moving Castle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
Sophie was exactly like
Mhm.
Sam, and even the
Mhm.
sister blonde, classic
Mhm.
80s beauty type of blonde. And the dynamic was a lot like nobody really cared about Sophie, nobody really cared about Sam.
Crazy. Anyway, we get this wonderful 80s montage
Yeah,
of ripped jeans, buttons on jackets.
yeah.
It
Scrubs.
was a fan edit of the 80s for sure. Oh, I was about to say, have you seen the kids younger than me, because there are many now, have been posting about like glorifying like 2012 and being like, wow, this was an era to be alive, 2012. And I saw somebody comment and be like, the kids yearn for a pre-Trump era.
I mean, welcome to old age, because yeah. I was like, oh, remember the early 2000s? Well, remember the mid 90s? I've been
Mm.
through a couple of those.
But now it's the early 2010s.
Yeah, yeah. How does that feel, Casey? What
It
hurts
felt
right now?
crazy. It everything, my back, my hips, my feet.
Throughout this whole montage, there was a lot of emphasis on butts. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes, there was.
For no apparent reason, like there was some quick shots of different things, and then it linger on butts in a couple of occasions, and not for me to notice it. Also, kind of uncomfortable because these are all high schoolers. I'll caveat 30-year-old high schoolers.
Very old high schoolers.
Except Molly Ringwald and Michael Hall.
Yes, Michael Hall
Though
looks like an actual child.
they were actually 16, both of them.
Aw, that's
Yeah.
cute.
They dated after this movie.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. So Sam is telling her friend Randy about everything that happened this morning. Randy's trying to be a good friend and is like, your family didn't really forget. They're just super busy. They're just preoccupied. But she does have this really great idea of like, if they really did forget, that's really great capital. You know, that's some guilting that you could use against them, which I thought that is a great plan.
Yep.
Like,
Not
truly.
wrong.
Yeah, she should capitalize on that for sure.
The child divorced parents, I related.
We get them in study hall, and Sam is filling out this anonymous sex survey on a piece of notebook paper. For what reason? I do not recall.
High school. I don't know.
But like, was it for a homework assignment?
No. It was
Okay, I just,
no.
you know.
I know the 80s. They weren't that crazy. No. It was like a survey that someone did, and then she was. I think her friend did that. That's what I got from it because she tried to get it back to her friend, but she never got it. Jake got it. Classic. I did like that the T-shirt. He looked like I mean he was kind of like a coach type. It kind of looked like they were in detention. It didn't look like a real class. I don't know what they were doing,
I mean, that's study hall, you know? Somebody just like watches you as you study.
but I did appreciate the writing on the chalkboard behind it, and one said "total idiot" pointing at him.
Yeah. I also think it's very interesting how it opens with them in study hall, where like Jake Ryan just has his eyes glued on Sam. Like from the get, I was like, oh, he's obsessed with her. And then as she's filling out this anonymous sex survey, she basically writes that she would do it with Jake Ryan. She passes it to her friend, like you said, or she tries to, but Jake Ryan picks it up instead. Scandalous. After, you know, Jake picks it up and he sees that Samantha's interested in him, he's like talking to his buddy about it. He's like, well, Samantha seems interested in me, which like clearly she is, but it's like, dude, you are also clearly very interested in her.
You mean the 40-year-old?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I look at the actors, and they were 23 and 25.
Not
Still,
too bad.
still not too bad, but he looked really old. It was a poof hair or something.
I think it was his outfit. His outfit was absolutely horrendous.
Well, yeah, it was very 80s. I did.
Like, I wish they would have at least given him jeans, you know?
I did find it funny in the background. There's some kids wrestling, and one is way bigger than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger one just kind of picks up the smaller one, and
Yeah.
also felt very high school.
I think Jake actually mentions to his friend that Sam looks at him all the time in study hall, and it's just like, dude, you're looking at her. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, look in the mirror. Unfortunately, there is a bit of an age difference that his friend calls out, which I was surprised by. I was like, this is what we're calling out? This? out of all the other problematic things, is we're calling out the 2-year age difference. Okay.
Because it's a status thing. It wasn't because it was problematic. It's because it's a status thing. Like he's a senior, she's a freshman or sophomore.
Sophomore.
So it's not really that she's younger. It's just that, well, yes, she's younger, but it's not because it's inappropriate. It's because why would a senior date someone that's
Mm,
not a senior? So it's more of a status thing than an inappropriate thing. So don't give them credit. They don't
okay,
deserve it.
okay. Well, it felt wrong to give him credit. I was just like, this is weird. That makes a lot more sense.
Follow your.
But Jake has a girlfriend, which is, I don't know why we needed this. She could have just been somebody who was obsessed with him. Didn't need to be a girlfriend.
I think that plot served putting my head back in a little bit in House Moving Castle and all that of Molly Ringwald having big self-esteem issues
Mm,
and looking at the girlfriend who is stereotypically 80s bombshell,
mm-hmm,
uh, and the Jake preferring
mm-hmm,
Molly Ringwald or Sam because of her personality or because of like, I mean, obviously she's gorgeous, but more like something real, and I'm air quoting
mm-hmm.
that because they don't know each other. I did find it funny that they were talking and they're doing pull-ups and then zoom out and they're literally just standing.
I am so glad they did that because I was like, wow, they really like fucked up this like practical effect. Because I'm like, it's clear like that they are standing on boxes or something. And the fact that they like actually they were standing on the floor was really good. And
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. After his conversation with his friend, who was wearing very tiny shorts, we cut to Sam and Randy staring weirdly at Caroline while she's taking a shower in the locker
Or is
room.
that Caroline? That weird sound effect boing. This movie
Mm.
is chock full of weird and inappropriate sound effects.
Have you seen the show Scrubs?
Have I seen the show Scrubs?
I don't know.
I'm a millennial. Have I seen the show?
No, but the sound effects remind me of season 1 Scrubs, where they were just going so hard with every sound effect for every transition or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I'm gonna start rewatching it since the new season is coming up
Mm.
or reboot. I don't know. It's very
Yeah,
nice.
I'm sus. I'll wait to hear how it does.
I didn't watch the last season,
Yeah, I've
uh,
never watched that last season.
but I'm totally excited. I think I'm just getting old and nostalgic.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Um,
I was 2012, huh?
Sam is on the bus on the way home, and they're at the end of the bus line. There are only 3 of them left. It's her, Joan Cusack, who has a neck brace on the entire duration of the movie.
Love her.
So great. I'm so glad she was there.
She was so funny. She was
Yeah,
just funny. Like her physical comedy was amazing.
I agree. It was a real treat, considering everything else that this movie had going on. And then we have what's the geek's name? Did we ever get an actual name for him?
Ted, but he's just the geek. He's credited as the geek.
Okay, perfect. The geek tries to make a move on Samantha.
He has a lot of confidence. I don't know where he gets
He
it from.
has a lot of confidence, a crazy amount of confidence that no high school boy actually has. But he has the awkwardness of a high school boy, which was very endearing and adorable. He's basically harassing her, though, which is very unfortunate.
Very close to her. I was like, kept writing down way too close.
Yeah, like, back up, buddy. She brushes him off. She's like, dude, like, leave me alone. And she gets off the bus and she goes home. And
By the
I
way,
think, mhm.
sorry, before it's just the 3 of them and the first shot of the bus. This is one of my favorite shots of the whole movie. Just the buzz with the band and the chaos. Something I didn't experience. We didn't have bus over there,
Mhm.
but this felt, I don't know, real. I
Mhm.
think I think this is one of the things this movie has going for. Despite of there's a lot of quip, there's a lot of jokes, there's a lot of high schoolers talking like middle aged man because this is who wrote the script. It feels real somehow.
Yeah. No, I agree. The high school moments feel very high school.
Yeah,
And I think this movie does a really great job at capturing high school, but not in like the obvious ways. Like the party that they threw, I was just
no.
like, calm the fuck
The only
down.
people feel like it reminds me of the third Harry Potter movie directed by Alfonso Cuarón, Prisoner of Azkaban, and he told the actors tie your own ties, do your wardrobe, basically do your hair, customize your thing. So it all details that he's a middle aged man he wouldn't think of. the
Mm-hmm.
actors who are the age of the portraying the kids they're portraying feel more real. So kind of same thing here.
Yeah. Samantha gets home from school, and I would absolutely crash out if I were in her situation. It's her birthday. Everybody forgot. She goes upstairs to her bedroom. This is once again where we get a little too creative with our sounds because we get the Twilight Zone theme. Don't think we needed it. She sees her
This is what,
grandparents.
this is what I'm saying. Nostalgia bait. A lot of stings, and you get the dragnet. You get like I kept writing down all the themes that I
I
heard.
love the dragnet. Like that. That got me excited every time.
Yeah,
I will say.
it was the geeks theme because he
Yeah,
thought he was Dragnet.
it
I've
was
never seen that
amazing.
show, but yeah, that's good.
She walks into her own room, and her grandparents are there, and they're changing. They only have their underwear on, but they're like decent. They're like modest with their underwear,
I
you
thought they
know?
were cute. I thought these one parents were cute. I like these ones. The other
Yeah,
ones I didn't.
no, trash. Her grandparents, the set of grandparents, also forgets that it's her birthday. They don't say anything. She goes downstairs because she's like, clearly they've taken my room. She runs into the other set of grandparents. They also forget. Also, grandma, weird as hell, because she comments about how perky Samantha's boobs are and then cops a feel. Literally crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My favorite line in this like sequence, she's like, grandparents live for this shit, which I thought was just really funny. Like they live to like for their grandchildren's birthdays, which was cute.
Yeah. Yeah. But they forgot.
Mm-hmm.
um, and she kept poor Sam. She kept giving hits. And like, don't I look older than yesterday?
So many. Like she made it so obvious.
That's sad.
Mm. She then
Woof.
goes into her brother's room.
Woof.
Mm-hmm. She lies down on the bed, exasperated, and we get introduced to a new character. He is a foreign exchange student from China who the grandparents who are staying in her room are taking care of. So he's kind of like a cousin, an uncle. We'll just call him a cousin. Yep, there's a long, loud gong sound that plays when he shows
Every
up on
time
screen.
he pops up on screen, or they say his name. All right, this is how I'm choosing to look at this movie, so I can see it a little bit positive. I think people like this movie because it's well-meaning and nobody's mean except the grown-ups. The grown-ups are idiots and mean.
Mm-hmm.
All of the kids, or most of the kids, are have flaws and everything, but they're well-meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all of the racism ironically comes from the director. But if you're looking from the foreign exchange student, from him and out, he's a great character. He's a great person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm choosing in my head canon to believe that's not his actual name. That's just how the grown-ups remember his name,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a ridiculous name. But take away the sound effects, take away the name, and I think he's the best character. He had a lot of fun. He had a lot of fun through the whole movie, and he just was a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna. We don't have a award for best character, but I just like him. I really liked him. Taken away, if we can, the appalling stereotype sound effects and
Yeah. Yeah. God, crazy.
and accent, because that wasn't actually his accent,
Of
the
course not.
actor's accent.
Of course not. Sam goes downstairs and was like, who the hell is this? And then the mom explains who he is and whatever. She's then hanging out in her sister's room, and her sister is talking about how this is the first guy that has loved her for 6 months, which is really funny to me. And then the sister, or Sam, starts trying to talk about like her own boy situation, but then her sister is like, you're jealous of me because I'm getting married, and it's like she's in high school, she literally can't get married right now, what the fuck are you saying, and you're being a bitch. And also, once again, it's still her birthday, nobody remembered.
Also,
Sam was really going through it.
yeah. Also, the boyfriend looks 40. The groom.
Oh yeah,
The actors are the same age, by the way,
that's crazy.
but he looks 40.
Yeah, he does look pretty old. At dinner, foreign exchange student is talking about basically all the free labor he's doing for the grandparents.
Yep,
Is
not
he even
great.
going to school? No clue. Little concerned.
Did you notice this little fun, air quote, fun detail? He's using the forks as chopsticks.
I did see that.
Oh, like I had to pause the movie. I did the candle thing, rubbed up into my nose. Like, oh god,
Yeah.
and then continued.
Hmm. Anyway, the parents are like, "Hey, we have to go out to dinner with, the in-laws. So like, can you stay here and like help the grandparents?" And she's like, "Actually, I have to go to a school dance tonight. Sorry." And she was never planning on going to this dance anyway. And
No,
the grandparents are like, "What if we send you with this foreign exchange student?" And that is so unrealistic because what the hell? Who would bring a rando to a school dance? That's literally insane.
I mean, I I'll justify it just because of experience from my family. They had a foreign exchange student from Japan, and they pretty much took her everywhere they could. They treated her like a sister, because she was a sister.
I know, but
And
he's
uh,
not her brother.
I know, but it was the '80s. What can I say?
Oh my god.
Uh, but he was very excited about that.
And
It's super sad that Sam wasn't planning on going to this dance because in her mind she was gonna have birthday celebrations. She was ready for to stay and celebrate with her family, and they completely forgot. So she went to the dance. That's super sad.
literally like a 16-year-old who wanted to stay home for her birthday.
She was dreaming about her sweet 16,
Mm-hmm.
and the jerk sister had to get married the day after her birthday.
Literally crazy. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. They go to the dance. She's able to shake off her uncle, cousin, grandparents foreign exchange student, and they go their separate ways, which I think is really funny. Like they are just doing their own thing. So she is kind of chilling. She's like trying to see if Jake's there. The geek, though, fucking sets his sights on her
Yep.
and
You, s-
just
you have a pan of all of the geeks on the wall.
crazy.
The one with the glasses with the like thin glasses was the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. If I was teenager in the '80s, this would be my people. I was in the '90s, so mine were more emo otaku type. Anime was big in Mexico, not so much here, but yeah. I did like again. There was a lot of fun details. There was one little kid that you see the parents literally shoving him into the dance, and then he escaping right after.
He's like, I want to be at home with you guys. And they're like, literally leave. Like, you
You
got to
know what?
stay here.
I get it. I
uh,
understand both the kid and the parents.
um, the geek finally makes his move and he's doing the craziest dance moves. And she is just standing there, so unimpressed. And then I think finally she walks away.
You're so enthusiastic because she also sees Jake and his girlfriend dancing, so dancing. He's trying to look at her too, but she's just
They're
not having.
just like making eyes at each other this entire time. And nobody is talking to each other. And it's very
I
annoying.
feel like the writers from Friends saw this and like, oh, Rachel and Ross, this is gonna be the dynamic for 9 seasons.
Yeah, that's valid. So after he gets soft rejected, the geek goes back to his friends, and then they make a bet that or basically they tell him like, unless he gets her underpants, her underwear, or whatever, like they're gonna make him pay for 10 floppy disks. Is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that.
Crazy.
Uh, my first video game ever was in a floppy disk. By the way, this is not the smaller floppy disks. These are the bigger ones. So there were
God
like
damn.
they were actually floppy. Like they actually were like that, and they were like about like I'm doing science this audio podcast, but they're pretty big.
That's
And I had
crazy.
a video game was a Vietnam video game problematic. But you had to. There was like a stack of like 7 floppy disks that you had to insert to play the different levels.
Wow. That's crazy.
Hold on, you mentioned John Cusack, but you didn't mention John Cusack
This is true.
because
John Cusack is there.
he's part of the geeks. I was
Yeah.
excited to see him. So young.
I was excited that both of like the Cusack siblings were together. I was like, oh, that's cute.
Where is Jamie Gertz? I see her listed in the cast, and she has a name, Robin. I just don't remember who Robin is. I'm gonna keep an eye on her.
Okay. Jake at some point pulls the geek aside and starts grilling him about what he knows about Sam. The geek goes out of his way to say that he's going to take Sam home with him. That's literally crazy.
Yep.
Sam is crying in the hall and overhears that Jake's girlfriend wants to go to Jake's house after the dance, which of course, just salt in the wound.
We do see Gere. I will omit his character's name. Slow dancing with this taller than him hottie. That was a joke, but she was a hottie, Marlene.
Dami Mommy,
Yep, not wrong.
That's crazy. We get a moment here where we try to see, we see Joan Cusack's character trying to drink from the water fountain and
yeah.
Oh yeah, she dances. She does a little shimmy. Very funny, very cute. We love it.
Great soundtrack, great music.
Mm-hmm. Sam is done crying in the hallway, goes back into the gym, sitting with her friends. The geek tries to make another move again. I think this is when we learn that his name is Ted.
Yeah.
And her friends are really rude to the geek. Like, really, really rude.
I kind of get it, because he's being annoying. He's not, he eventually redeems himself, because I really like that he was really happy for Sam and Jake.
Yes.
To get them together. He flipped really quick. But up to this point, he was just annoying.
Yeah. I would understand their rudeness to him if Sam had already told them about like what happened on the school bus and how he's like harassing her. But it's like I'm under the assumption that they don't know about that, so they're just like, this is a freshman, so we got to be mean to him. That's kind of how it came off to me. But
I thought she told them about him. I was the opposite assumption as usual.
Fair. He's trying to like talk to her. He's like looking away because they're sitting next to each other, and then Sam just like walks away and leaves, and then he like turns around to like get a reaction to something or ask her a question, and then her two friends are still there, and they're just like literally go away. So
because now his mission is more getting her underwear.
Yes.
More than actually ask her on a date or something or anything.
Mm-hmm. Correct. The geek somehow is able to find where she is. She's in the auto shop of the school, and she's in a half dismantled car for whatever reason. I was shocked by like how chill she was with him here. Like she doesn't like tell him to go away necessarily. She's just kind of like, I'm done. She's tired fighting him, I guess.
I found this somewhat relatable. And I think it was just because he was so attentive to her. Like she wanted the attention, although it wasn't the wrong kind of attention. But I think that's why she confessed. And I think the moment that she confessed and she became like a real person, he flipped, and he's still kind of tried to make a move, weirdly. But he listened actually to her. I thought it was a nice little surprise, subversion maybe. Because
I agree, yeah.
He's the only one that she tells it's my birthday at this point. It's so sad.
He tries to sing happy birthday to her.
Yeah.
This part here, like the events of this movie don't feel real, like real high school. The interactions between the characters does feel very high school.
Yes. Like, not what they're saying, because again, they talk like middle-aged men, but well, not always, but most times. But yes, this whole scene felt very real.
Yeah, absolutely. He offers to tell her a secret to make her feel better, and she was like, okay, fine. And his big secret is that he has never bagged a babe, and he is not the stud that everybody thinks that he is. Everybody being his friend group.
Yeah. Also, everyone being nobody.
Yeah.
Not even his friend group.
No.
At least not at this point. They will later.
She laughs, and for whatever reason, I can't make sense of it. He tries to basically straddle her, which is very funny. I'm just like, what are you doing right now? Like, huh?
I'm not saying I ever did this, but I get it. As a horny, clueless teenager, any little window was like, he likes me. I was too much of like, I didn't have his confidence. Like,
yeah,
not even an eighth, but yeah, kind of. This felt real. It felt real dialed up to 11, and you will get that reference if we get to that movie, which is also an 84 movie.
She pushes him off. He apologizes. She's like, it's fine. And then he tries to do it again.
She's like, it's fine that you can do it again.
Yeah. he asks, the geek asks Sam if he can sleep with her. She was like, I'm saving myself. Not for marriage. She's saving herself for Jake Ryan. Also, I don't know if I've already said this. Jake Ryan, stupid ass name. That's 2 first names.
Like Jake Paul.
Yeah. Stupid ass name. Anyway, she's like, no, I'm saving myself for Jake Ryan. And he was like, can I have your underwear? And then he explains it, and she's like, okay, which is like, that was nice of her. Crazy.
Stupid. She regretted that eventually, but yeah.
Yes. But also the geek tells her, gives her some insight that Jake knows who Samantha is and has asked about her. And Sam is very excited about this. So then, yeah, of course, she agrees to give the geek her underwear. It's a little trade,
Did he tell her why? Or maybe not, but...
Yeah, because he talks about, like, I have a lot of pressure from my friends to, like, be the leader of the group.
Yeah,
We cut to Jake and Caroline, I don't know. They're dancing. Yeah. Jake is once again head on a fucking swivel. He is just trying to find Samantha and just stare at her. But no, she's obsessed with him, and it's just like, dude, realize your own feelings. I don't know. Get with the program. His girlfriend says something which I think is baller, where she's like, if you leave me, or like if you do something stupid, I have 25 guys like ready to profess their love to me. So like, watch it. I was like, yes, queen, you tell him.
Yep. Oh, by the way, sorry, before we go too far from the car scene, when Sam asks about Jake and the geek gets excited, I love that he say really excitingly, Jake is my boy, because to him immediately they're best friends. And I get that a lot. You know me, and I meet someone and you're immediately my best friend. I feel like that's how he operates. I relate too much to this geek. I don't feel comfortable saying that, but I feel like I do.
That's really funny. No, yeah, like, you're right. And it's also interesting because Jake doesn't necessarily, like, push him away. Like, no. Jake just kind of accepts it. He's like, yeah, cool, we're friends. Probably because he realizes the geek is a tool, but figure out stuff about Samantha.
Also, Jake is a tool. I thought that's what you said.
I mean, yeah.
But he's never mean to anyone, except when he's talking about his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's mean to his girlfriend, but he's not mean to the geek. He's not mean, obviously, to Sam.
And his girlfriend's also a bitch. Let's be honest.
They're just together because they're the most attractive people in the room.
Yes, absolutely.
In the 80s. That's the only reason they're together.
Yeah, kind of iconic. Anyway, Carolina, I can't remember her fucking name. She basically, what is it?
Caroline.
Okay, Caroline tells Jake to, like, get his head in the game and focus, and she wants to go back to his house because his parents are out of town, and she likes playing pretend, and she only told 2 of her friends, and they're not going to tell anybody else that they're going to his house afterwards.
By the way, real quick, Haviland Moore is Caroline, and Gere Watanabe, they're both in Gremlins 2.
That's hysterical. Wow.
And they're both playing basically the same character. He's being a stereotype, although I think this is more of a Japanese stereotype, him playing in Gremlins 2, with like cameras and stuff. And she's playing like the femme fatale hottie that hits on the main protagonist who has a girlfriend. On Billy. She hits on Billy.
That's very funny. In the hall, Sam is practicing what she will say to Jake. I did have to fast forward through this because I was terrified of the secondhand embarrassment that could possibly happen. I was like, absolutely not.
I thought that was very sweet. I thought it was very cute.
I hated it. I was like, you can't even do this in the girls' bathroom. Like, are you kidding me? Like, he could literally round the corner at any moment. Yeah. It's just kind of like, I have no sympathy for you if you're going to do something that's stupid, you know?
Yeah, but the movie's not this mean. The movie never really embarrassed anyone that much.
That's fair.
And I'm doing other caveats, but stereotypes aside, even Gere wasn't like a one-note joke.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the obligatory from the 80s making fun of Asian cultures, but he had like a full arc from being very, very button up and basically being used for slave labor by his grandparents to having a wild night in the night of his life. Mm-hmm. I feel like he became what he really is. But I don't think that movie was gonna be mean to Sam at that point. I didn't think about that when that was happening,
That's
honestly.
fair. Huh.
The movie's
Interesting.
not mean. That's the thing. The movie is that's why I gave you the adjectives at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's well meaning.
Yeah.
The whole movie is well meaning.
I wonder if like that is just like if it, for me like it comes from a place of like personal fear, or if it comes from like the fact that I feel like rom-coms from like, you know, my era were mean or like
Yes.
would do those kinds of things.
Yes, the movies from the rom-coms from early 2000s, 2010s, I think they were a lot meaner, especially early 2000s.
Yeah.
Uh, Also, Casey, do you need to confess something right here? Were you practicing what to say to Samuel and then he caught you, or?
That's very funny. No.
No, actually, we know that you were mean to him.
Yes, I was. I was a jerk to
You
him.
beat him. You beat him to submission.
Yeah. Gotta do it.
What did happen? That's not really funny. As Sam goes back into the gym, the boy who was trying to escape, the parents shove him back in, and they just close the door.
Oh god, that kid did not want to be there. So Sam has worked up the courage to go speak to Jake, who is by the coat check. She looks at him, he looks at her, and then she turns around and says absolutely nothing, and she walks away.
Again, this was Friends for 9 seasons.
Yeah, literally so crazy. All the geeks are congregating in the bathroom and paying money to go look at Sam's underwear because the geek is holding a viewing party for her
That's
underwear in the boys'
very,
bathroom.
very, very, very problematic. But it was a good payoff for later,
Yeah.
or a good setup, I should say. A good setup for
Mm-hmm.
later on in the movie.
Mm-hmm. The exchange student and his new girlfriend take Sam home, and then he zooms off.
So there's a missing scene here. There's a deleted scene. Did you notice that the exchange student's car, it had one of those trays with the burgers and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole scene where they go to the burger place. But yeah, I thought that they just left it there. Like, I feel like that's very 80s, because obviously now they would have digitally removed that because it wouldn't make sense. But just having that there without the previous scene of what happened, it gives a little bit of mystery and realism that, yeah, we're just looking at them through this whole night. We're not seeing everything that's happening. And I love that.
You know, it did remind me of being in high school and like after dances, like everybody would go to IHOP or like go to Whataburger or something like that.
I never went to high school dance.
What?
I never went to high school dance. I didn't have high school dances. That wasn't a thing.
Oh, okay, that's crazy.
We had like tardeadas, which is like in the afternoon, and we will grill. We just went to a bar. I don't know.
Went to a bar in high school?
Yeah, 18.
Okay, what did you do when you were 16?
Tardeadas. Yeah. I never drank until it was legal to drink. Wherever I lived, my first drink was at 16 in Paris because it was legal to drink in Paris. And then after that, it was 18 in Mexico. And my first legal drink here in the United States was 21 in Las Vegas. It was Heineken.
Wow. There you go. Yeah. We cut to Sam's parents having dinner with the new in-laws.
Woof.
Father-in-law is looking like he's a mob guy.
Yeah, I wrote down, this is the mob side story.
Mm-hmm. And then mother-in-law is looking like Tammy Faye. She has bright blue eyeshadow on. And this fiance is a jerk.
I know you're never going to see this movie, but she reminded me of Weapons. And the main villain is I actually this might be a reference to the Weapons villain might be a reference to this actually, but she looks almost exactly like this. I'm gonna look for a picture for you.
No, I know who it is. Like I can see it already. Like on Twitter, you know, because they're like blunt baby bangs, right?
Yeah. Redhead. Yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, it is exactly that. Holy fuck.
The guy seems like an absolute jerk. He makes like a really gross, like sexist joke of like, I can still look, right? And you know, he's just weird. However,
Dad and Mom were having it.
Oh my god, they were very upset. When they get married later on, though, he seems very kind to her, which was very weird considering how he was talking in this scene.
I feel like he was super nervous. Like in my head, he was very drunk, overcompensating.
Yeah.
because even she was like the sister, dad, mom. They were all like, what the fuck is happening?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I don't know. Maybe the parents. I think they were just mafiosos, and they were just weird. But I think the groom, who again looks 40, he's not. But and I love this actor. He's been in other things. I think he was just like overcompensating. Because yeah, you're right. Like when the sister is out of it super high,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't look angry at all or embarrassed or anything. He's just kind of trying to help her.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Cut to Jake's house. There is a full-on rager. There is toilet paper hanging from the trees. There is so much damage. It makes me
That
very sad.
that family is so rich
Mm-hmm.
that he doesn't care the damage that they did to his house. The little hole in the floor,
Crazy.
and all of the bottles that they destroyed. He don't care. Also, we
No.
we do see Joan Cusack trying to drink. Also,
Yes. I think if I were him, I would have been tempted to call the cops on the house party.
yeah, you would do that.
Yeah, because I mean, he did not want a rager at his house.
I
He's
don't think he
pissed.
cared. I think he was just kind of like I don't know. He didn't care.
Well, remember, like his girlfriend tries to talk to him, and he's like angry, and she's like, "Well, you're being like a loser, like you're being lame, because he didn't want a big party."
I thought he was more that he was thinking about Sam, and he was getting annoyed with the girlfriend. Like he was kind of rethinking his whole life, kind of thing. Of like, I think it was like or that's kind of what I was seeing it of a I was going to say midlife crisis, but a high school crisis
Mm-hmm.
of him like I have the perfect girlfriend. I'm jock and I'm like whatever, but why am I thinking about this geek girl, freshman or sophomore, whatever? So I think that was kind of like the conflict in his head. That's how I took it. 'Cause he kept calling her Sam.
Yeah, I will say, whenever earlier in the movie, whenever Sam is out in the hallway crying and Caroline and her friends are talking, I think Caroline is like, "Yeah, Jake doesn't want us to have a party at his house, so like keep it small. Like, don't tell anybody." And then it becomes this. So
Okay, gotcha.
yeah,
I missed that.
God, just fucking breaking a huge boundary. Totally fine. Whew. Jake is not into it. He goes upstairs in his room where it's quiet, and he starts flipping through the yearbook to find Sam. And then the geeks show up, and they're like, "What if we get beat up?" And he's like, "We got $70 and a pair of a girl's like underwear. Like we're fine," which I thought was very funny.
Also, the geek's confidence again,
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. They walk in and they knock over a tower of beer cans being built by some very burly guys.
There's this
And
show in
yeah.
HBO Max. It's a new cartoon called Haha You Clowns. It's the type of humor that if you like It's Always Sunny, you're gonna like this show. And they look exactly the same. I think I told you that these are the Haha You Clowns triplets or siblings.
Upstairs, Jake keeps calling Sam's house, but the grandparents keep answering. The first time that he calls, right as he's hanging up, the grandparents answer, and they hear him say, "Eat me." Um, and the grandmother's like, "He wants sex."
Good for her that she knows what that is.
I guess so. And he calls multiple times because he's just jonesing to talk to Sam, I guess, for
Do we
whatever
know how he
reason.
got Sam's number? Was it in the
In the fucking yellow pages, white pages, or some shit, you know?
yeah? I wrote here white pages. Which
Yeah.
was wild that the white pages ever existed.
Yeah, that is
Like
really crazy.
oh well, you haven't seen the Terminator, but this is how the Terminator kills a bunch of people through the white pages.
Huh.
'Cause he knows
Interesting.
he needs to kill Sarah Connor, and he just goes through all of the Sarah Connors on the white pages, and he just kills a bunch of them.
That's good. It's efficient.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. As he's calling and hanging up and calling and hanging up and calling and hanging up, Caroline goes to the bedroom door and she's like, "Do you not love me anymore?" She's drunk out of her mind. He is like, "Caroline, just leave me alone." He closes the door and her hair gets stuck in it. The fact that nobody thought to open this door to get her hair unstuck is
Wild.
literally insane. Her friends are wearing Jake's mom's string of pearls, fur coat, diamond earrings. Ugh. And she asks for their help, and the string of pearls gets caught on the banister. and it breaks, and the pearls go everywhere, and it made
I
me
missed
so sad.
all of that. I'm looking at it right now, like, oh, I completely missed all of that. Oh, there she is. One of the friends, Jamie Gertz. Casey, you have no idea who Jamie Gertz is, but she was kind of my crush in the '90s.
Aww.
She was she's in Twister, in the original Twister,
Hmm.
and she was the wife who the main guy leaves for Helen Hunt for. But I was
Hmm.
like, she's cuter. Why are you choosing Helen Hunt over her? But yeah, I was looking for her. Okay, she's one of the
That's
friends.
fine.
I'm happy now.
Her friends are also drunk, and so they're like, "Yeah, we'll help you." And then, of course, they take their sweet time trying to help her. Once again, they could just open the door. She could probably just open the door, but they're drunk teenagers. So
This
what
felt
else
so
are you gonna
real. This felt
What?
so real.
Oh God. Jake calls the house for the third and final time. He finally stays on long enough to ask if Samantha's home. When he calls, the grandparents are sitting in the bed with the phone in their laps, just like waiting, and they immediately pick up. And the grandmother is like, "Stop calling here," whatever. And it's basically like afterwards she gives herself a pat on the back. She was like, "We protected Samantha from this hooligan." And Samantha would be fucking livid right now if she understood what happened.
He's being very respectful towards them.
Yes, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I was
like
shocked.
yeah. I mean, he said horrible things about his girlfriend, and this that like does not excuse him. But for the most part, he is well-meaning. I think.
Hmm.
I want to believe that. I don't know, but at least
No, I think he portrays a really accurate high school guy of just,
yeah.
I don't know how to break up with my girlfriend, but I'm like kind of obsessed with this other person and I don't really know what to do about it.
He says horrible things. He never did anything horrible
Yeah.
that we know of.
Yeah. Caroline's drunk friends come back.
Well, he did one horrible thing, but we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Caroline's friends come back with biggest pair of scissors I've ever seen, probably used for a ribbon cutting ceremony. You know. And they hack off her hair. They don't even get close to just trying to take off a little snippet of the end.
They're real estate agents.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know, but
Crazy.
it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, they cut off a huge chunk of her hair when they didn't need to. But once again, drunk teenagers, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
Crazy.
that's so fun.
Party's finally coming to an end. Everybody.
Oh, you
Mm-hmm.
skipped something very
Ooh.
important and very weird.
Mm-hmm.
The foreign exchange student Gede and the girlfriend, they are exercising, but I think they really are having sex. We just looking it through the lens of high schoolers,
Mm-hmm.
because they're like wild doing things up
Yeah.
in the gym room. Also, who has a gym room in the attic? But whatever.
Yeah.
And this is where the girlfriend
She's lifting, literally
didn't
lifting
secure
weights.
one of the things, and then just the weights fall into the basement where you have all of the I'm guessing very expensive.
Mm-hmm. I tried to look up if anybody had gone through the effort of calculating how much damage had actually been done to the house.
Yeah.
And nobody has, and it actually makes me really sad. And maybe if I get really bored one day.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's a Reddit thing. You can just
I mean I looked at nobody's done
oh,
it.
you started. I'm saying you can start it.
Might as well just do the work myself, you know?
No. All right.
But once we see the extent of the damage, we see that there's pizza on a record player. So it's like the record player is
That'd be funny.
trashed. The tape recorder is trash. Everything is trash. It's very frustrating for me. I don't know. I hated it. This is my worst scene ever. Just seeing how trash this house is.
It's your equivalent of seeing people's socks getting wet or sleeves getting wet.
Yeah, yeah. It's truly repulsive to me. Jake is just kind of taking it all in. And sits down on the couch and he grabs something off the coffee table and
Sorry.
Mhm.
I'm asking ChatGPT. How much damage was done in Jake's house Major damage shown on screen. Living room completely trashed. Staircase railing broken. Glass everywhere. Beer and liquor spills. Walls dented smudge. Kitchen disaster. Jake's parents' bedroom. Exterior damage. Jake's car. Says not significantly damaged, so it was surrounded by chaos. If we estimate the damage, realistically, uh, if that happened in an actual high-end suburban home, you'd probably be looking at carpet cleaning replacement, furniture replacement, repair, wall repair plus repaint, window picture frame glass replacement. Deep cleaning services easily hits $10,000 to $20,000.
And that just feels like the low end. Like I feel like it was a lot more than that.
Asking about the wines in the basement. So $10 to $30 per bottle in the 1980s, which is roughly 30 to 90 today. You're looking at 1,000 worth of wine lost. So yeah, I'm 20 to 30,000 probably
Crazy.
in
That is so
damage
insane.
in the 80s.
And I still think that's the low end, Like I feel like it was probably
In the
closer to
80s.
like, yeah. Mm. Anyway, Jake picks something up off of the coffee table, sees an eye staring back at him. He clears the coffee table. It's a glass coffee table. And the geek is stuck under it / in it because it's like kind of closed off from all sides.
How did that happen? Who
I'm
knows?
assuming it's the burly guys that he pissed
Yeah.
off.
You know what hurt to me more than the pizza on the record player?
Mm.
The cassette player spilling out.
Yeah.
Because did you ever put stuck a pencil and rewind the cassette? You did that? Okay, okay. So you
Yeah.
kind of know. I feel like, oh my god.
So cut back to Sam's place. She's sleeping on the couch. Dad comes in and he's like, "You're awake?" She's like, "You're awake." And the dad apologizes to Sam for forgetting her birthday. Yeah. She is incredibly forgiving.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that to both her dad and her mom. She ended up comforting them and saying it's okay, it's fine, don't worry about it. I and it it happens a lot with parents that are narcissistic, that they mess up and the kid feels bad. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm protecting obviously, but I feel like it fits because they are narcissistic parents, obviously. But yeah, she should have. Well, at least a mom. Maybe
Yes,
not
the
the
mom
dad.
absolutely.
Yeah, that I actually like the dad a lot.
Yeah, the dad is really great.
He was just trying to survive. Poor dad.
Yeah, yeah. When we get to the next morning, I was
Yeah,
very unhappy with that as well.
yeah,
But the dad is like, he says something about like, don't marry a shitty guy or whatever, and basically this gets her to talk about Jake and how she's not good enough for him, and he gives her a nice little pep talk, and his last piece of advice to her is like, don't let the guy boss you around, make sure you wear the pants in the family. It's like, oh.
yeah,
But then that reminds her that her underwear, she gave it away,
yeah.
which I think is very funny. But yeah, it was a cute moment
It was a good moment.
between her
I
and her
liked it.
dad.
Yeah, very realistic.
Go back to Jake's house. The geek tells Jake that Sam is really into him. This is a very funny scene. The geek is trying to make a cocktail for whatever reason. Has a whole shaker, has the olives. I think he's trying to make a martini.
Full of confidence, unearned
Yes.
confidence.
Yes, absolutely. Jake opens up to the geek and he's like, I'm tired of being with Carolyn. She just wants to party. I want a serious girlfriend. I want somebody to fall in love with. Okay. The geek, I think, mentions that he has Sam's underwear, and then Jake makes a deal or trade where if the geek gives Jake Sam's underwear, then Jake will give the geek Caroline. And that is exactly like word for word, like pretty much. Like not just like, oh, I'll let you take Caroline home. It's like, no, you can do whatever you want with Caroline.
This is where Jake lost me because up to this point, I like Jake,
Yeah. Yeah. And
and
then he
then
does
he
this.
says that like, ugh, why? I know why because the script wanted to Caroline end up with the geek somehow,
Mm-hmm. And
but
there are so many other ways that they could have
other
done it.
way, yeah, it's just that was gross. That was gross and uncomfortable. I didn't like the worst scene ever. Movie over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the ending music at this point.
Right. The geek, I was kind of impressed with his resolve at first. He was like, no, 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 no. And then he sees her underwear and then he's lost it. He's lost the plot. He's
Yeah,
given in.
he was trying to be decent. He was, for the most part, pretty decent. He
Hmm.
actually treated Caroline pretty well.
But Jake tells him to take Caroline home in his dad's Rolls Royce.
He's still a 16-year-old actor driving a Rolls Royce in the 80s. I'm scared.
Yeah, terrifying. Don't love it. Caroline, or before they even go on the drive, Caroline is like, Jake, who is this guy? And Jake's like, that's me. And then she asked the geek, she was like, who's that guy? And then Jake is like, that's also me, or whatever. Just fucking playing with her drunk mind. Really hate it.
You don't care.
The geek is driving, and Caroline wakes up. She blares the radio. She's going crazy.
The burly guys drop off the other geeks in
Oh,
their
yes,
house.
yes, yes. But the geek's in the trunk.
Yeah. They left them with headlights, like the little thing.
Headlamps, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they drop off the geek's two friends. The geek is driving. Caroline wakes up. She tries to feed him a birth control pill. That was pretty funny. He spits it out.
Crazy. That's
And
because we're taking care of herself.
yeah, fair enough. Ted, or the geek, stops at his friend's house. He knocks on their window. And he's like, bring out the camera. His friends are like, oh my god, that's a Rolls Royce, and you have Caroline. That's crazy. Super weird scene. I hate this. He gets in the backseat with Caroline, and he poses for a photo with the drunk Caroline and the Rolls Royce.
I like the scene, and the only reason I liked it was so much preparing, and so much. It was the build up to the photo. They had a stand. One of the gigs with John Cusack was like, "Oh, if it was black and white, that would be beautiful." Like, and I it's one of the jokes that I know the photo's gonna be shitty. I just know it. I was waiting for it, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah, no. At the end of the day, what they got was just a corner of his face, which was very funny.
No Caroline.
No Caroline. No car.
Yeah, no car too. Yes.
Yep. Oof. It's terrible. It's the morning after.
So that'll happen in Sam's birthday.
Yeah. Crazy. Sam wakes up. Mom apologizes to Sam for forgetting her birthday. She starts crying. This is complete narcissist.
Yeah.
And of course, then Sam, like you talked about, is now forced in the position to comfort the person that hurt her. Just really fucked up.
Apparently, this was the idea of the actress, of the mom. Like, she wanted to have this scene with Sam, like the actual actress. She
Red
felt
flag.
like not having this redeeming scene made her look too mean, but she was still mean because she still made Sam feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you said that he looks like Jacob Elordi, I cannot unsee that.
Right? Sam calls Randy, or Randy calls Sam. They're talking on the phone, and Randy tells her that her little brother paid $1 to see Sam's underwear.
Paid off. That's why that happened, just for that payoff.
Yeah.
That joke.
Of course, Sam is humiliated, but she gets on with her life, and we never talk about it again. They are getting in the car to head to the wedding. They're like, where is the exchange student? And they find him passed out in the front yard.
That may or may not have happened to me in high school.
They wake him up, and he's once again drunk, and he's not the kind, subservient kid anymore. He's a menace. And the grandpa is like, what'd you do with my car? And he was like, crash it into a lake. Yeah. Crazy.
Before this, when the grandparents are in the kitchen and they're cooking, there's a really funny scene of the good grandparents, I'm going to call them the good grandparents, cooking, and the bad grandma has her cigarette, and it's like a crazy amount of cash just hanging, and the other grandma is like just like with a spatula trying to catch it before.
I thought that was really funny.
The bad grandma opens the donuts and breathes the whole smoke into the donut, like, breakfast ready. Horrible.
Oh, Lord. They get to the church. The bride, the mother of the bride, the bridesmaids. Oh, the bride has started her period, which has got to be the worst thing ever to happen on your wedding day. Thankfully, now we have enough tracking apps out there to tell you you can plan you can plan a wedding around your period now. You can plan a trip around your period. It's crazy. Thank God for tracking apps.
When I found that out, Ania told me, I was like, what is this black magic? How is this happening? Like, it's just like, I don't know how, like, I still don't know how that works, but
like tracking?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyway, the bride is having terrible cramps, and she took 4 muscle relaxers. I have a question for you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken a muscle relaxer before?
No. No. And I'm
Okay,
very scared of that kind of drugs. I've never taken any type of that type of drugs. I have seen
interesting.
other people take it near me,
Hmm.
and it's weird.
Would you
But
say the reaction is accurately depicted?
I feel like a little bit dialed up because it's a movie. But yes, for the most part, I think. Have you taken muscle
I
relaxer?
have not, but now I am intrigued by the idea of taking a muscle relaxer. She looked like she was having a great time.
It was mostly done for comedic effect,
Hmm.
but anyone out there who has experienced it, like, have you seen the compilation of people after the dentist? Like, I feel like that's this.
I love that feeling. That was amazing. I would get my wisdom teeth removed in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me?
I never got my wisdom teeth removed.
There's nothing I loved more than having a very good reason to be forced to stay in bed for a few days. I was
Have you
like, oh no, what can I do? And whenever I woke up from the surgery, I was yapping away to Samuel. And he was like, you literally just woke up from surgery. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I was just like, you can't stop me. I want to talk. Let me
taken?
talk.
So similar to this then.
Anyway, this old woman that greets them is judgy as hell. Don't love her. Bad vibes.
You know who that is?
I see on my notes here that she's from the Poltergeist.
Yeah, fucking creepy. I
Okay.
was like, I was scared and suspicious of that woman. What are they gonna do? What is she gonna do to them? Like, is this movie about to take a turn? Is this gonna be a horror movie now?
That's funny. I've never seen Poltergeist, so that went right over my head.
Yeah, Poltergeist was before this, I think.
I imagine so.
Well, yeah, 82. So I think she was there as a little Easter egg or cameo.
Mm. Cut to the geek waking up in the backseat with Caroline. She's actually conscious. And she's like, who the hell are you? They talk. They have a very interesting conversation.
Uh, was he drunk? Did he drink after this, and we just didn't see that again? Like things happen off camera.
I think so. Or maybe he was drunk from the party. Maybe he was drinking and driving, which is hella stressful.
I,
Because he did make that martini and drink it.
that's true. Also, I didn't know he was pretending he was drunk and didn't know what happened. But I think he was genuinely
I
confused of
think,
what happened.
yeah. I think if we're interpreting the other actions in this movie as like truly like well-meaning, I think we have to
Yeah,
see this as that. So yeah, they had drunk sex.
did they?
Oh, they definitely did.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I have no doubts that they did. And he was like, "Do you think you enjoyed it?" She was like, "I can't remember, but like I have a feeling I did." And it's like a weirdly sweet moment perhaps out of this weird situation.
It's only sweet because they're both in the same situation. It wasn't
Yeah.
him taking advantage of her. If we are
Mhm.
to believe that he was drunk also, which I
Mhm.
think we do. Uh, if they're both kind of unsure, they're both in the same situation, I
Mhm.
think it's okay because they did have a kind of sweet and honest moment there, and they kind of
Mhm.
felt for each other right there.
I know.
It was
I
cute.
was shocked. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was a weird cute moment.
it was a weird movie. This is how you describe this movie: weird, cute moments.
Yeah, with a lot of slurs.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, geez.
Jake goes to Sam's house where he sees the exchange student. He was like, "Where is Sam?" Exchange student is still drunk and confused. He's like, "She's getting married," and he's like, "She's getting married." And he goes, "She's getting married," and they go back and forth. And this was actually kind of funny for a little bit.
He's less of a cartoon here. Like
Yeah,
there's like exaggerated. Did we see Jake punch him? Okay, so that happened off screen also.
yeah. I
Like
guess
we saw
he.
half of this movie.
It's funny when you put it like that. Yeah. I guess the exchange student inappropriately touched Jake. Jake punched him in the face and gave him a black eye, rightfully so. And so whenever Jake comes to the door, the exchange student is freaking the fuck out. He's like, "No, don't hit me, don't hit me." He was like, "I only hit you because you deserved it."
Probably did.
Yeah. Um at the wedding, the sister is just she's gone. She's loopy as fuck. Like they're trying to put the shoes on her and they can't. The veil's in her face and she's
It's
trying to get it out of her
right
face.
high acting.
Yeah, it's
Like
pretty
she
good.
slumped over, she's like, just, yeah, it's amazing.
Hmm. She staggers down the aisle.
Really funny.
And they could have just had the mom on the other side to like help kind of like prop her up, because she pauses in the middle as she's proceeding down, and she's like sits in the pew. She's like, I gotta take a break. I thought that was really funny. um,
A few
but
other people.
the creepy poltergeist lady is like, here comes the bride, all big and white or whatever, which I was like, damn, she's a bitch. Um,
By the way, I want to say I love the actress. She's amazing. She's a legend. She's great.
mhm.
So I want to put that out because she did get a lot of bad rep and not great roles after Poltergeist, but she's great.
As the wedding is going on, Jake pulls up to the church, which is, I guess, the church that Caroline goes to, coincidentally. And he sees the geek and Caroline in the car. Caroline goes to talk to Jake. They have a crazy mature-ish conversation where she's like, look, I'm sorry for throwing the party and trashing your parents' house. And they kind of acknowledge like why they're together. And she's like, what do you want to do? And he's like, let's break up. So they break up.
Yeah. The geek thinks he's gonna get beat up, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this whole movie is very nice to the kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they all kind of have a happy ending. And
Yeah.
we love that.
The wedding lets out, and Ginny hops around like a pigeon, is what this note says, trying to catch rice in her mouth. And I think that's very funny. This guy is really trying to help her get in the car. Eventually, they get in the car, and her dress gets stuck in the door, which is very funny to me. Once again, he's being very nice. He's not mad at her. He's not yelling at her. Yeah, he's being decent. Poor Sam is like, oh my god, Ginny needs her wedding veil.
Yeah.
She's going to regret not having it. So she goes back in for the wedding veil that Ginny threw off, I think, in the middle of the service. And she is like, I gotta go. Like, I'm going to miss it. Like, my sister going away, whatever. She goes outside. Everybody is left, essentially. Everybody's like,
Or
pretty
leaving.
much leaving. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Jake Ryan is outside and waiting for her. And she looks at him and he looks at her, and she points at herself, like, you're coming for me? He's like, yeah. And then it's crazy. And
it would have been sweeter if he hadn't had that previous scene with the geek talking about the girlfriend and being a total creep.
Yeah, that's fair.
But also this is the first time that they talk ever.
Very first time. He asks her if she's going to the reception, which I'm like, buddy, I don't think there's a reception anymore. And she's like, yeah. And he was like, can I call you later? And she goes, no. He's like, I can't call you. And she goes, no. And she goes, wait, no, I'm not going to the reception. Very cute.
Very cute.
Frustrated teenager moment.
This is why Molly Ringwald was Molly Ringwald in the 80s.
Yeah. She really delivered in this scene. I'll give it to her.
So good. Yeah.
So she gets in the car with him, and the dad sees this. And this is probably one of my favorite moments. Not my favorite scene, but my favorite moment. The dad basically is like, yeah, he's hot. Good job, girl. Like, you got him. You bagged him.
Like, the actor does a great face of, I'm proud of her, but I'm also concerned because I'm looking at that dude. And he knows he's a mistake.
Yeah.
But he's trusting his daughter to take care of herself. I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I felt like those acting choices were there.
Yeah. Cut to Sam and Jake at his house, and he has a birthday cake for her.
Very sweet.
Very sweet. Incredibly sweet. That is so crazy. And he gives her back her underwear. And he tells her to make a wish, and she was like, it already came true. And then they kiss. Yay! End of movie.
End of movie. It would have been sweeter if he wasn't weird before, but it was a sweet ending.
Like, this movie, take out the whole date rape sequence.
It played with my feelings so much, this movie.
Yeah, it would have been so much better. Like,
the 80s. Crazy. And like I told you, like, the 80s had a weird obsession with Asian culture in a positive and negative way. Like, you're going to see a lot of Asian characters and references to Japan, especially Japan and China. But how are you feeling, Casey?
That's a crazy ass movie. This is a crazy movie.
It's a
This
crazy
is
movie.
wild.
I understand why it's a classic. I understand why people love it, uh,
Yeah.
knowing how problematic it is.
Hmm.
But what do you say we get to awards? So we got 3 awards: Best Actor Ever, Worst Actor Ever, Best Scene Ever. Casey, Best Actor Ever.
The Geek.
Yep, Anthony Michael Hall, same. He did great. It would have been super easy for him to be completely unbearable and obnoxious, and he was. But then when he needed to be real and an actual real teenager, he was that too. So yeah, great. Worst actor ever.
Hmm. I'm a little bit torn because I think the sister did a really great job at the high
Mm.
acting. She was terrible when she was playing sober, which is weird.
Maybe she was method acting.
Maybe. So for that reason, I'll give her worst actor ever.
I'm gonna give it to the creepy grandpa. I think he was just trying to stick out. Like the actor was trying to stick
Mm,
out. Like he was
yeah.
like very like every time he acted, he moved a lot. Like he
Hmm.
was just like, no, this is not your movie. It's about teenagers. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, Best scene ever.
You know what? I think I will give it to the last scene.
Hmm. I like it. I like it. When Jacob or Jacob, when Jake is picking him up in the church, or the last scene, the titular
Both.
16 candles.
Yeah, no, it's definitely both.
All right, so you're
It just kind of,
pushing it together. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I'm going to the mechanic shop or garage
Mm,
in the high school where
yeah.
the geek and they're talking. I mean, it's a little weirdness from the geek, but I thought that was when it surprised me how the geek flipped from being very obnoxious to, oh, he's actually supportive.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very easy for him to be jealous of Jake, but he immediately was like, Jake's my boy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still wanted the panties, which okay, but
Yeah.
uh, I think that support and acting of
Mm-hmm.
both of them.
Yeah.
Honestly, best actor ever, Molly Ringwald was very close for me. But yeah, that's gonna give it to that scene. Casey, very important question, possibly difficult question. Solely based on this movie, was 1984 the best year ever for movies?
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no,
Mm-hmm.
but not as a hard no as I thought coming in.
It's it's very possible I could change my answer once we're at the end of the season, but we're still kind of fresh into 1984, and I feel like this movie did problematic things, not necessarily because it was only normal for the time, but I think it seems a little over the top compared
And
to
even
other
for the time, there,
1984
there
movies.
were
Yeah,
critics. Like even for the time, people didn't like the stereotypes.
yeah,
So it was the 80s, but also it was bad for the 80s.
yeah.
So we're not
So
excusing
for
it
that
at all.
reason, I'm just kind of like, why did we do it?
But let's see what we're gonna watch next week.
Yes.
So the way we do this, and I said it before, and I feel like we need to kind of explain it all the way, even though you find it hilarious. We take the top 100 IMDb movies from the year. We randomly choose 20, and that's what we're gonna do. So we got number 3, Amadeus. You haven't seen this movie. I used to watch this movie a lot as a kid. I was in a orchestra up until I was 12 or 14, 12, 14. And this was my movie. This one and The Land Before Time.
Wow.
I was a weird kid. I was a weird, depressed kid. But this is a great movie. I hope. I haven't seen it since. I still hear it's pretty good. So it's gonna be, as we recorded, I think the last movie that we watched this year. So I feel like after this year, we deserve a good movie to sign off
Yeah,
the year.
I agree.
So next week we'll do Amadeus based on the novel Amadeus, not actually the real life of Amadeus. Maybe, maybe not. Probably next year, and I'm excited. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Were you as confident as a geek in high school? I know I wasn't, but we'd love to hear your high school stories. We'd love to hear what you think about this movie and any other 1984 movie. You can reach us on Best Year Ever Pod. On our social, we're on Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok. I'm uploading a lot of videos up on TikTok. You can also email us to bestyeverpod@gmail.com. But as always, please tell your friends, tell your loved ones, spread the word. It really helps grow our podcast. And as always, review, rate, and subscribe on Apple Pod, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.